Hello, good morning. Carl here, and today is an exciting day. Today is day number 1 of 27 that I've personally committed to doing the best I absolutely can on my nutrition, on my fitness, on my mindset, and just hammering it out for 27 days. And why do you care? Because I want to invite you on this journey to join me in this process. And so every single day I'm going to be making a video and I'm going to be letting go or like showing you, letting you view over my shoulder what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And being a wellness coach and in the health and wellness industry for the last 6 years and helping thousands of people, we kind of got a few things figured out in terms of systems that work and systems that maybe don't work so much. And before that, I literally struggled for 7 years. 7 years of frustration, of trying different things, of diving into this meal plan and failing, trying this meal plan and failing, but every time learning something. And it was this repetitive process of trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. And I don't know if you've ever been able or been in a situation like that or can relate to something like that, but it can get really frustrating. I mean, so frustrating where you know deep down that you are capable and that you can do it, but for whatever reason things aren't clicking and the results that you want to see aren't happening. So if that's the case, if you're in that place of frustration right now, I just want you to know that I totally understand because I've been there and I was there for a really long time. And if you just never give up and you just keep working at it and learning about yourself in the process and making refinements and adjustments as you go, you will get there. Unfortunately for me, or not unfortunately, I don't regret the 7 years, but it did take 7 years for me to learn enough about myself and to be open enough and transparent enough to look at the areas that were holding me back. And it was funny because it wasn't even in the how-to information so much. It was more like personal deep down issues that I had to deal with. And the way those issues were rearing their heads was in irrational action that was basically diverting me away from the goal that I wanted. And so really learning about yourself in the process is going to be probably one of the big things you're going to discover in this whole journey. And we're going to pull the curtains back and let you come inside as we transform our bodies over the next 27 days. This is totally free. I'm doing it just because I want to take myself to another level that and recommit to the plan and really get solid with it. And I mean, and in total, authenticity is that everyone's human. We make mistakes and we're not always exactly perfect like people think that because we're in the health and wellness industry that we never have a cheeseburger or we never drink a beer, right? And that's just totally not true. And so I think you need to understand that everyone struggles in different areas, and for wellness for a lot of people it's a struggle. And so again, if that's you, it's okay because if you just never give up and keep working at it, you'll get there. And I can just tell you that because I've got that. I've figured that out. And again, I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing the 27-day, program here of just giving videos for free and just inviting you to come with me on the journey to transform your body. So this is day number 1. And let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do going into these 27 days. So the first thing you need to think about over these 27 days is what is your target that you're going after? What is your goal? Okay, so for me, what I'm going to do over the next 27 days is I'm going to go into my business later today and do a scan, which basically tells me what my body fat percent is and my muscle mass is. And then that's going to be my baseline, and I'm going to move forward. Now, if you don't have a machine that can tell you information like that, no problem. But maybe you take your weight, or maybe you take your measurements, or at least take a picture of yourself, like a before picture, which I'm going to do too, of how you look, so you can actually see the physical transformations over the 27 days. So if you want to quantify it and put numbers behind it, great. If you want to just do a visual thing, or maybe it could be as simple as how do you feel right now today on an energy scale from 1 to 10, right? Maybe you're like a 5, or on average when you wake up you're a 6. Well, what if we could go from a 6 every single day on average to an 8 in 27 days? Would that be worth it? That's a good question. So maybe that's how you track yourself or how you really judge if you're making progress. But I would say at a bare minimum, take a before picture because picture speaks 1,000 words, right? And if you can, take some type of quantitative number behind it if you want, whether that's your weight or your body fat percent or your muscle mass, or maybe you take measurements, right, and measure around the same spots in the beginning and after the 27 days. But if you want to quantify it and get some numbers behind it, because it'll really just kind of show the progress that you've been able to make. So that's the first thing. Set a target and really decide on what you want. Now the next thing you really got to focus on is, okay, how do you go about, what actions do you take? Okay, it's great to like say, I'm going to do it, let's go. And then it's great to have a goal, but then what do you do? Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick 2-minute overview of the actions you should take. Okay, and the most important thing is this: you eat right, and you work out well, and you hydrate yourself. Okay, now if those are things that you're like, yeah, I've heard that 1,000 times, like, I totally get it, I understand. And there's a lot more that goes into that. And there's actually a lot of psychological things that go into that, and personality things, and so much. It's an infinite well of issues we could get into, but we want to keep it simple. So if we keep it simple and say, what are the few actionable items I can do every single day? It's that. Eat healthy, stay active, whatever that means for you, hydrate yourself, okay? So let's just talk about eat healthy first. That's the most important part of the puzzle, because you cannot outwork a bad fork. You cannot eat pizza every day and work out and expect to make progress. Okay? That is the thing that's going to throw you off more than anything else, is not eating correctly. And so here's what I want you to do every time you eat something. Every time you eat, I want you to have a fruit or vegetable and some type of protein source. Okay? So a fruit or veggie, those are pretty self-explanatory. If you're not sure what those are, Google fruit. You'll get a ton of options of what they are. Veggies, vegetables, even protein. If you're not sure about protein sources, Google protein sources, and you'll find a well of information. Okay, some examples are like chicken, cottage cheese, turkey, salmon, tilapia. I mean, there's just a million different, venison, buffalo. There's a million options. Eggs. So I'm not gonna dive in and really show exactly like your meal plan for you, because you know you, and you know what foods you like and what you don't like. So your homework is going to be to dive into that and be like, okay, what do I like? Make a list of the things that you like, and then if you have that baseline list, you can pick from them on a daily basis. And when you plan your meals going forward, you can use that list that you've already generated. So I want you to make a list of all the healthy protein sources that you like, and if you need help, use Google. They're a great friend. All the vegetable and carbohydrate choices that you like. Okay, so carbohydrates are carbs and vegetables, and then all the fruit choices that you like. Okay, and every time you eat, you're going to have a protein source with a vegetable or a fruit, or vegetable, carbohydrate, or a fruit. Okay, and so that's really as simple as it gets. So for example, this morning I had oatmeal with some eggs. One serving of oatmeal, super easy. I think it was steel cut oats. Just put it in a bowl, cooked it up, and I had one egg with 3 egg whites next to it. It's great, right? So that's what I had. And when you go into your day, ideally, again, this is day number 1, but ideally your day is planned out. So if your day is not planned out right now, don't stress out about it. It's all right. We can progress together and refine it. But you want to have your days planned out ahead of time. And what that's going to do is that is going to give you your roadmap. So when it comes to 3 p.m. in the afternoon and you're starving and you're super hungry and you're like, crap, what am I going to eat? And all of a sudden you're by the vending machine or at a gas station or driving, and you see the Golden Arches and other types of maybe not so elegant choices for your wellness. We're a lot more susceptible to make choices that don't support our goals if we don't have a game plan to follow. So ideally, when you wake up in the morning, it's all laid out for you and you know exactly what you're going to eat for that day. Now, how I choose to do that is I write it all on my cell phone. And I'd show you that, but I'm using the cell phone to record this video right now. So I literally go into an app and I write down all of my nutrition for the day. So what I'm going to eat at every single meal. And then I can see what my totals are for my calories and for my macronutrients. And we'll get into that more as we progress over the days. Just giving you the overview today. And then I can see if I eat like this today, will I stay on track? Will I do the nutrition that I need to do to get the goals that I want? So write it all down and do it. The easy part is writing it down. And some people don't even think that's the easy part, but it is. Planning it out, it just takes a little bit of time. A little bit of mental energy, a little bit of time, plan it all out. And then the hard part is, for most people, is doing it, is in the moment eating what you said you're going to eat. So when you already wrote down for dinner, you're going to have chicken and asparagus, you're going to make it taste really good with, spices and fun things, than doing it versus you really want a hamburger and fries, or you really just want to dive into that bowl of ice cream. Like, those are the tough choices that you need to make. And that's like your work. That is the work, that the decisions you need to make to be able to follow through on the plan that you develop. Okay? So I'm going to help guide you through this process, but your work's going to be doing the plan that you create based on the guidelines that we talk about. Okay, so what have we covered so far? We talked about making a list of protein, carbohydrates, veggies, and fruit of all the sources that you like. Every time you eat, you just circle off the list of what you're going to have for that meal. And before the day starts, you plan out your entire day. Okay, so what I would recommend if you're just getting started is plan out breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it. Okay, 3 meals. 3 meals a day is great. Start with that. Some people eat 2 meals a day. Some people eat 4, 5, or 6 meals a day. And there's research supporting both sides of eating less and eating more. Okay, you're really going to have to find what works for you. As a general template, what I tell people is 3 meals a day and 2 snacks a day. But it can be a lot at first. And not technically, but that's really more geared towards very active people that need to be eating consistently. Okay. Now, if you do implement that, it's going to help speed up your metabolism, help burn fat. And if you're not ready for eating 5 times a day because it maybe seems overwhelming, then don't worry. Just do 3 times a day. Do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it. Okay, but you got to get your food in, and it's got to be healthy, because we're not going to look at food so much from a enjoyment standpoint, even though it can be, and it can be used that way as like a social event. But we're going to look at it more from a fuel standpoint. Like, your body needs energy to make you feel good, so you have energy throughout the day. And what provides you with that is one of the ingredients for the fuel for your body is your nutrition, what you're eating. Okay, so really that's the purpose, is to give you the energy that you need during the day to go in and do whatever you want to do for that day or going to do for that day. So if you reframe what food means to you versus you need food for enjoyment or for pleasure or for, like, let's say you don't feel very good about something, but you had an argument, so you use food as like a coping mechanism. We're going to try and steer away from that over time, because that's more of like a self-destructive habit versus like an empowering, strong habit that'll build you up. And again, that's what I did for a lot of years. What I didn't realize was that when I was upset or when something internally wasn't at peace, food was like my out. It would just like make me zonk out, become a zombie. I wouldn't have to think about, hard things or things that didn't feel very good. And so I would use food to zonk out. Some people use alcohol. Some people use exercise, which is a really good way to go about it. There's 1,000,001 ways. So I'm not going to play psychologist in this and really, try and help you with all of that stuff. What I'm going to do and offer to you is to, again, look over my shoulder. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to show you what I'm doing every single day so you can see what I'm doing, and then you can see the results that I create in my own body, and hopefully that process educates you, inspires you, helps you move forward in your wellness so you can get the results that you want. So that's day number 1 today. I got my meal planned out. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I ate today. At the end of the day, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page, my screenshot of my MyFitnessPal, my app that I use to track my food. Already got my workout in. I ran 2 miles, and then I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, just some calisthenics at home. And as we move forward, I'm going to start explaining some of the workout philosophies that I use and how I go about getting my workouts in every day. But just started off really quick and easy. Got my breakfast in, got my workout in, got my post-workout nutrition in, and we'll go from there. So today's day number 1. I'm so excited that you decided to join in this journey of making a change over the next 27 days. You can do it if you just set your mind to it and really focus on the goal that you want. And we'll be moving forward together. So it's going to be awesome. I'm so glad you're here with me, and I will talk to you soon.